Good afternoon. My name is John Feerick, and I am here today to speak about the process of interviewing and hiring employees. No organization is greater than the sum of its members. However, synergy can be created through the engagement of work teams and the members on those teams. One of the most important duties a manager can do is the evaluation, interviewing, and hiring of members for his team. Recruitment occurs during stages. First, a job description is written and approved by HR. Minimum educational and work experience is noted and compensation is calculated. Second, HR conducts an applicant search. This can happen through print media or websites or even the engagement of employment agencies, better known as headhunters. Third, HR reviews resumes for the minimum qualifications and passes them to the manager. The manager reviews the resumes as well and has HR schedule interviews. Fourth, the interviews are conducted by the manager. The initial ones can be phone screenings or face-to-face. After the initial interviews, 1 to 3 candidates are normally selected and brought in for longer interviews. They may also meet the manager's own supervisor so that all levels of the organization are comfortable with the people that are coming in. A decision is then made as to who will be employed. That was a quick summary, but there are many other factors involved with the hiring of employees. Large businesses need to comply with many laws, such as the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and also external organizations such as unions. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was set up to address the inequality in our society at that time. Title IX of the Civil Rights Act involves the hiring and firing of employees. You were no longer allowed to discriminate on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, or gender. Speaking languages other than English on the job is allowed unless the job description specifically says it is required to speak English for the conducting of business. Discrimination based on pregnancy is addressed under the gender discrimination section. Unions are another situation that the hiring manager needs to contemplate. Jobs are defined specifically and the duties are laid out much more clearly than for non-union positions. Non-union positions often have vaguely worded descriptions. Union positions do not. The union themselves may dictate who and who cannot apply for the positions. There are certain issues such as time off, scheduled salary increases, breaks during the day that need to be addressed during an interview. Certain intangible qualities are hard to learn in short meetings with people before you hire. You have to learn to rely on nonverbal signals and gut reactions to accompany the facts that are brought out during the interviews. The phrase "starting off on the right foot" may have been written just for job interviews. It is incredibly important that the initial meeting go well with the person you are interviewing to get a job. Attire, demeanor, use of language, body language, and just enthusiasm for the job are very important, not to mention honesty. Some people say that these factors may not be related to the actual job being hired for, but I have to disagree. Enthusiasm and a willingness to take the job on is always very important. We spend more time with our coworkers than we do with our families, and you want someone who is able to jump right in and really like working at the company. The interview process also goes both ways. When you are being interviewed, you too are interviewing the person that is going to hire you. You need to evaluate the job and the manager. I myself applied for a job in White Plains, and during the initial discussions, I found out I had to interact with people across the country via email and phone. I thought that was fine. It wasn't until the third interview with the senior vice president of the entire department that I discovered that I would have to travel up to 2 weeks per month. That was not possible with my family situation at the time. And so I was able not to take the job, but otherwise I would have taken it if that had not come out. Also, interviewing, it's difficult to teach someone how to interview somebody. You have to learn how to do it through experience. So I was able to learn by going on, being with my manager during interviews, and I in turn have now been bringing my staff in for interviews with me. One of the most important things that I can say about interviews is not to complain about your current job during it. One lady I interviewed spends most of the time complaining about her current boss. I kept trying to bring the interview back to the job that was open, and she just kept turning it right back around to complaining about her boss. Of course, I was unable to hire this lady because I didn't know from our discussion if she had the qualifications needed for my open position. In closing, it is very important. There is no more important thing a manager can do than the hiring of staff. In a few years, someone you hire may become president of the company, or they could become the loose cannon that brings the company down. There is nothing more important for a manager's short-term goals and long-term career opportunity than the excellent hiring of new staff. Thank you.